Hello, environmental science scholars. You might be thinking, wow, Sadia and Olivia must be really enjoying this book that they're reading. Actually, no, they're just excited to have evolved to be able to walk on 2 feet. They're bipedal and they're feeling pretty good about evolution. So here's an example of a cladogram. We're going to be designing cladograms today, or alternatively, we're going to be creating this nested species classification in the form of a Venn diagram. And so here we've got Jasper, we've got prosimians, birds, and amphibians. I'm going to show you precisely how to do that, but first here's another quick example of this cladogram and the equivalent evolutionary classification in the form of Venn diagram. And we can see that these visuals, specifically the derived shared characteristics, they're nested, they're overlapping. I'm going to teach you how to do that. First, however, we're going to do a little bit of a review of some of the selection tools that we learned already, and I'm going to teach you guys a new one. So the very first Photoshop lesson, we learned the rectangular marquee tool, right? And so we make sure that we're on the right layer. I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to create a selection, Command C, and then if we click File New, and then OK, Command V, boom, we've got that new selection right there, right? I'm going to press Command D to deselect, and I'm going to select the next selection tool that we learned. That's the magnetic lasso. You guys remember that? And we remember that the magnetic lasso clings to high contrast objects. So I clicked once, I'm going around Peter, I'm not clicking anything, and I'm going to seal it up with another left click, Command C. Let's go to File New. I'm going to press OK, Command V. Boom, we extracted Peter Griffin. Let's return to this original image. I'm going to press Command D to deselect. And the new tool that we're going to learn today is something called the magic wand. So I'm going to select the magic wand, and the magic wand is cool because whatever you click on, it selects an area based on that same color, based on the same color of the pixel. So when I click here, I can see that Peter Griffin's face is selected. I can see that the white of his shirt is selected. I can see that the blue of her blouse is selected, and so on and so forth. And what's the relevance of that? Well, if I click his hair and then I want to change the color of his hair to, let's say, this light blue, I'm going to press B, and what I'm going to do is I can simply select just that area. I'm going to press Command D. I'm going to press W for wand, and I'm going to click his shirt and return to the paintbrush by pressing B. And what we can do is we can color just this area of the shirt in, right? So that's how the magic wand tool works. It's kind of amazing. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a Venn diagram. The cladogram is pretty straightforward. You're going to be simply copying and pasting in the species of your choice, being sure that you include these shared characteristics along the phylogenetic tree. All right, so let's jump right on into this blank. All right, when you open up this blank for this Venn diagram, you're going to notice that right off the bat there's 4 layers, and I can see that at the bottom it says purple 1, and then blue 2, red 3, black 4. If I hide the bottom one, you can see that it disappears. And what's the relevance of the magic wand tool? How is that going to help us out today? Well, let's start with Jasper again, right? So here we've got a PNG. I'm going to press Command A, Command C, and then I'm going to press Command V. And all of a sudden, I don't see him, but I do see Peter Griffin. How did he get here? So I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it to the garbage can, and I'll return here. And actually, what I can do is I could actually just drag it into this Venn diagram template. We're going to press Command T, and I'm going to jump to the top. I'm going to reduce the size to maybe, let's make it approximately, let's try 43%. We remember that whatever in the bottom layers palette is on the bottom of the composition. So I'm going to drag Jasper up, and I'm going to actually make him a little bit smaller because keep in mind, guys, that we're going to need to include a little bit of space for text, right? So I'm going to press check. Great. So if we use the eraser tool, if we press E for the eraser tool and we want to sort of carve away at him, that doesn't look amazing, right? Even if we zoom in, that doesn't look professional at all. So how do we go about doing this? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on black 4. Okay, so that's this black layer. It's that top ellipse right there. I'm going to return to the magic wand tool, and I know that if I click right here, what happens is just this ellipse, just this layer is selected. And then if I switch to Jasper and I press E, what's going to happen is his face won't erase, and nor will the rest of his body, only what's inside this selection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Command Option Z to go back. I'm actually going to press Command D to deselect, and I'm going to return to black 4. Okay. And so rather than selecting inside the circle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select outside the circle. So I can select anywhere outside, and I can see that everything except for the inside of the ellipse is selected. And I'm going to return to the eraser tool. I'm going to press E. And when I do that, make sure that you guys are on the Jasper layer. You're going to have to switch layers. And beautiful, we can erase that like so. Now you're probably thinking, all right, Dros, why don't we just press delete? Because if we press the delete key, everything outside that ellipse is going to disappear, and we want to keep Jasper's face in there. He's a good-looking dude. We want to keep him there. He's excited also about walking on 2 feet. So let's press Command D. I'm going to find a new species. I think we got a couple here. We got this prosimian that looks great. Here we've got the cladogram. What else do we have? All right, so here we've got this bird, and we've got this amphibian. All right, so I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to simply click this amphibian. I'm going to drag it to the blank template Venn diagram, and I know that this is on the outside layer. I'm going to press Command T. I'm going to hold Shift, and what I'm going to do is, if you pull the mouse away, we can drag it out. And what I realized is, instead of the frog facing to the right, I want it to face to the left. I'm going to see what that looks like. So to do that, I'm going to press right click. I'm going to flip horizontal. Yeah, I like that. That looks great. I'm going to pull the mouse away. I'm going to rotate a little bit, and tremendous. All right, so here's what I know. I want this amphibian, this frog, above the purple circle, right? But beneath this turquoise circle, because we know that it doesn't share the shared derived characteristics of this particular bird, right? Frogs don't have amniotic eggs. They are, however, tetrapods. So what we're going to do is, to make sure that they're layered appropriately, again, I'm going to use the magic wand tool. I'm going to switch to blue 2, and I know that if I'm on the inside of blue 2, right, this interior area is selected. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to the frog layer, and I'm going to press simply delete, and that's gone. Beautiful. That looks kind of amazing. And so I'm going to write tetrapod. You know what, we can actually do that right now. I'm going to write tetrapod. Boom. Whoops. Beautiful. And so what you're going to do is you're going to play around with the size. You're going to find fonts that are appropriate. We'll do one more quick species. And I think I saw, here we got this bird real quick. I'm going to use the move tool, and I'm going to simply drag it into right here. I'm going to press Command T to shift the size, make it a little bit bigger. And you're going to want to play around with it. This might require a little bit of finesse because we want to include the wings, right? And so let's say Command T, I'm going to pull the mouse away so that it looks a little bit like this. All right, great. So likewise, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a magic wand. I'm going to switch to layer red 3, and I'm going to make a selection, and I'm going to press delete. Oops, I pressed delete, but I didn't want to do that because I want to make sure that I'm on the bird layer. We're going to press delete, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Alternatively, like we did with Jasper, you could press E for eraser, and then you could simply erase that away. Beautiful. All right, guys, you're going to be labeling everything appropriately for all this evolutionary classification. I'm super excited about what you guys are going to produce. If you have any questions, let me know. Good luck.